What's up, guys? This is Wade and Marlon from Tables, Ladders, and Bumps here to review the Bash in Berlin. Uh, Pretty great pay-per-view, PLE from this weekend. And yeah, guys, if you like wrestling content, please like and subscribe. We're covering wrestling almost every day on this channel. And yeah, this was overall, I thought, a pretty decent card. I The highs of this card were super high. There was one match in particular I'm pretty sure we'll agree on, but for that type of match, it was about almost, I would say, like a five-star match. Um, and that was the Bianca Jade and Unholy Union tag. No, I'm just kidding, not that match. But I actually liked that match. But it started off with Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a pretty straightforward match. They kind of teased a heel turn for Kevin Owens that I felt was not actually going to happen and didn't happen. Especially with, I feel like the whole point of this Kevin Owens story is to set up when Randy does turn on Cody, it's going to be way more intense. And
Do you think Kevin joins in on the turn? Is that what you think?
no, although that would be kind of cool. That would actually, I would maybe like that more. But I don't know. I think this was fine. This was the least favorite match on the card, and it has nothing to do with the two people wrestling. It's just I felt nothing going into this match at all. This felt like what WWE fans make into AEW matches, where they say there's no story, and even though there is a story a lot of times, this
Yeah,
is no story. This is
that's
like,
a good point.
oh, you're my friend, and you've lost 10 title shots in a row and you have a terrible record, but you've had my back. I'm going to give you a title shot, which makes absolutely no sense.
I felt like you were grasping at straws for this, as far as trying to make this a thing and trying to get the build up. Again, me, you, and Pierre have talked about when it was proposed to Kevin to be a contender for the belt, and Kevin was refusing. I was just like, why are we doing this? Like, what do we not have anything better? Those were like some initial thoughts as far as like building a story and booking for Cody to defend the belt. So to me, the storyline and the build didn't excite me. Like you said, the match was good, satisfactory. These are two experienced guys with a good history and a good friendship. So that was it for me.
Yeah, wrestling wise, this has like a 3.5-star floor just because the guys are so they could like sleepwalk through a 3.5-star match. They're that good. I just would have rather had, and a lot of people who hate like Austin Theory. I would have rather had Austin Theory go against him even
Right. Yeah.
because I don't know. I feel like there's been slightly a story with that actually makes more sense than
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens. But and also Kevin Owens has lost so many times in a row for a title.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a singles title in 7 years. It's
Yep.
kind of wild. They kind of need to give him something at some point.
Yeah.
To be honest, because now it's to the point that it's unrealistic that he's ever gonna win.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, the wrestling was fine. I didn't feel much in the match, like drama wise.
Just
Um,
the potential turn, or
yeah,
taking advantage of the injured knee. Right.
yeah, he like kicked at the knee one time, but nothing he did was even a cheap shot. I would say. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Randy was more of a heel in the match, uh, against Gunther than KO was personally.
I want to hear
But
about
Rand,
that.
yeah, I mean he poked him in the eyes, but yeah,
Oh yeah. Right.
which is like stereotypical heel move. But overall, I thought the match was fine.
Yeah.
Um, Next match, Bianca and Jade versus the Unholy Union. I feel like this is the best Jade's looked,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the least they've had her do.
Mhm.
I don't know how you felt about this match.
Uh, I thought it was fine. This was probably the only match on the card that you could call up the middle, unless you're taking like wild fantasy bookings in your mind. Um, I was confused a lot during this match of who is the legal person and who wasn't. I don't know if you felt the same way. Or maybe I just lost track of what was going on, but I felt confused
Yeah.
tagouts.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way, but I don't know whose fault it is, but it seems like every time Jade is in a match, there's something with
Some
tag outs that does, and it probably wasn't even her, so I'm trying not to blame it on her because I don't remember if it was, but it seems like I don't know what the deal is that because most of the time I've seen tag matches and there's issues with this, she's in the match every single
uh-huh.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but then sometimes it's the ref too, like the time they were going against Damage Control
Mhm.
and he has two native Japanese speaking wrestlers and it doesn't even matter, just let them wrestle. Whatever, dude. Like I don't know. I just I just chose to be like, I don't care who's legal. Like
Yeah.
whoever wins wins. I don't really care that much. I'm I don't know what they're I knew they were going to do this, or I felt they were, because I think I had said in our podcast that I feel like they're just dragging this Jade and Bianca thing out till WrestleMania time, which is fine, I guess. I would just rather see Bianca have a singles match with, I don't know, 10 other people, realistically. Like, run it back with her and Io Sky. I want to see Bianca Bailey, um, Bianca Tiffany Stratton, uh,
Bianca Rhea
Bianca
Ripley.
Bianca Rhea Ripley. That's probably in a year, but they should have pulled the trigger on her and Tiffany Stratton last year, I think.
I agree.
And then now they've done this whole thing with it's they're basically keeping her away from Tiffany Stratton for 2 years because of Jade,
Hmm.
two manias, which I don't think is worth it. I think you have an actual star with Tiffany Stratton,
Hmm.
and then you're doing all of this stuff because of a potential star that look like I think she does pretty decent promos and she's a good interview. She's a likable person, but I just haven't seen anything in ring that does it for me at all.
Yeah.
So I I don't know. And I feel like there's so many heels now. You made a joke in a text. Oh, Unholy Union is gonna be on NXT, but it's uh I don't know. What are they gonna do? There's so many heel groups
Yeah.
because you have the Ministry of Starkness. Um,
Party girls.
well, I guess they're babyface. Maybe not. Maybe there aren't that many heels.
Oh, you're
You
talking
could
about just yeah. Unholy Union plus Blair, Ministry of Starkness.
is it just two,
Yeah.
and then you have Damage Control as babyface and the Party Girls.
Hmm.
Eh, I don't even think it matters that much for the tag division. You could have situational babyface, situational heel. I almost feel like Damage Control seems more like babyface than Bianca and Jade
Hmm.
at this point, even though they did virtually nothing storyline wise to turn them babyface, but
Right.
they're over as hell.
Yeah.
So in like 3 hour Raws, which
Yeah.
is saying something because generally those matches don't get over. So I don't know. I
For
thought that
some
was
reason, since they've been baby faces, I feel like they've been better wrestlers. I don't know why. I feel like when they were heels, like as Michael Hamflett said, I feel like they forgot how to wrestle. Like, or at least Io, not Io, Kyrie Sane.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
She's not I mean, she weighs 80 pounds, dude.
Yeah.
Like how realistic of a heel is that
Right.
when you're like a heel and like how are you gonna have her a heel against like Jade, who's like can literally shoulder press her
Right.
with ease. So I
Yeah.
think that eh, you have to be a particular type of heel to pull it off and be like tiny.
Like
And
Roxanne.
I yeah, like I people hate on her heel run. I thought she was really good yesterday as a
Yeah.
heel. So I just think they're naturally Io could go either way, but I think they're both pretty naturally baby faces. Their moves are so cool and they're kind of
Hmm.
high flying that it's more baby face. Uh, but yeah, I'm more worried about what happens with Unholy Union next.
Yeah.
Uh, I was more impressed with Jade and Bianca hitting their finisher on, you mean, Isla Dawn, who's
Hmm.
like, I don't know, a head taller than Kyrie Sane and like has curves. So it's not suplexing an 80-pound little girl, basically. So I was like, all right, like they can do this on someone that's, you mean,
Yeah.
like built like a, you mean, thicker and stuff, not in a negative way, but like, yeah, it's just a totally different body type all the way around. So, because generally when Jade's looked really good, it's against Kyrie, which I mean, if I was doing wrestling moves to someone that weighed 50 pounds less than me or half my weight, I'm gonna look really cool. So I don't know. That's neither here nor there, but I don't know. You thought the match was fine too.
It was okay. Yeah, it was fine. That was the only one where I didn't have a prediction in my head of what was going to happen. I don't know if you did.
I was hoping Unholy Union won, but I wasn't gonna lose any sleep
Hmm.
over it. This story had more build to it than the Cody and I mean they've been going at it for about 2 months.
Hmm.
So I at least felt more in that regard. I thought they built up to the Jade hot tag like
Hmm.
really well. So I don't know. Yeah, it was fine. I
Fine.
don't but yeah, compared to the other tag match, not it had nothing on that. So next was the CM Punk and Drew match, which I want to know your thoughts on this.
Uh, Solid for me. It was just a straight one-on-one, well, strap match, right? But there were some intense moments that I really was buying into, and I overall enjoyed this match. But yeah, I overall enjoyed this match, and I'm happy that Punk got his first win, right, in the last 10 and a half years. So I enjoyed this match. I did like it. The whole suspense with the strap situation, especially when Drew was carrying Punk on his shoulders and Punk was like tagging the turnbuckles right after Drew was. To me, that was like one of my favorite parts. But what did you think?
Yeah, that part was kind of cool. I don't think that they explained it very well, but you could also but because he wasn't being hit, I guess that was
Mm-hmm.
the point. But when he was tapping it too, thought, okay, I thought it erases
The other one.
the other one, but maybe that was just me. I was a little bit tired. Maybe they explained it, but or the announcers didn't know they were gonna. They
Do
probably
that.
didn't want to give it away too much, so that was going to be a major plot point in the story too. If you like explain too much, then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's going to happen.
Right.
So I thought, yeah, this was pretty good. I would have preferred if it was just a strap match where they have to tap out or pin,
Mm-hmm.
personally. But I get the point that Drew can essentially say, "You never pinned me."
Yep.
So then they go to the third match, which I'm cool with. There weren't too many points where I thought the tapping was annoying. Like I thought it would bother me a lot more because I've seen it. The ones I've seen generally are not very good. So I was a little bit worried that it was gonna just thematically be kind of terrible. And I mean, for Punk to win, he hit what, four
GTS.
GTS, yes, which is that was kind of sick. He just would do a Tappa thing, um, and which was kind of straight domination, to be honest.
Right.
If you hit four finishers on a guy and then steal the bracelet,
Yeah.
that you said the thing that was in his crotch earlier, and he's kissing it. So that's a whole other can of worms that is slightly alarming. But yeah, I'm like, I hope he doesn't have crabs. That yeah, the match was
Yeah.
fine. It kind of honestly exceeded my expectations just because
Hmm.
I wasn't super excited for a strap match, and the last strap match I saw was so sick, and I knew it wasn't gonna get to that level with Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks, where that was like a snuff film. That was unreal, like how brutal that match was. So that could be the other reason they didn't want to do the pin strap match because there was one done so well,
Yeah.
essentially almost a year ago to the day. I think pretty close. That one, I had that as like a 5-star match last year. That was
Hmm.
insane. So maybe that was part of it. And I think CM Punk was actually supposed to go against Ricky Starks for that match before he got kicked out of AEW. So that's another thing, probably. But yeah, I mean, they beat each other with the straps pretty well. I don't
Yeah.
remember them like choking each other with this belt too much in the match. Do you?
Mhm. No, I
I feel
don't.
like that's one of the aspects of
Good
a
point.
strap match that is. I mean, that's how I think Bryan Danielson won in his match. So you don't have to obviously do it to win, but
Right.
I mean, you
Not
literally have a
now.
noose. You have like a
Yeah.
noose that is there that you could kind of use. Maybe they did it, but if they did and neither of us remember, they didn't do it well.
Right.
So that's probably one you kind of had a missed opportunity there. Um, maybe WWE didn't want to do that.
Hmm.
I don't know. They had blood though, so I don't
Right.
think it was too bad. Um, yeah, I don't know. This match was pretty good, better than the
Yeah,
first one.
I agree. 100%.
That first one was not good.
Yeah.
Uh, it wasn't even bad. It's just the bracelet thing, dude. I am
Over.
thank God he got it because at this
Yeah.
point, if they go back into the bracelet, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like if Drew steals it back again, just it's over. He's got the bracelet. Let's go into the final match and it just not ever remember that this was a thing because
I I don't know why Drew would even want that bracelet back for any reason. So it's like, dude, he's got it. Just leave it. Talk about something else. Talk about another stipulation or a reason to go after him. Like you said, he didn't technically pin him or submit him, right? So it's like dude, move on with it.
Drew needs to go scorched earth at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think Monday we need to see him essentially fatality CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
like
He
he
did
did.
times
Yeah, on
on
what
SmackDown, right?
yeah, that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you. That was about as good as you can do that, I think, unless and CM Punk had fake blood or whatever in that too. I don't know what you do.
Drive a forklift through his car window.
Or put him on a forklift and drive him through a wall like Jericho did. That was pretty badass, even though I don't like Jericho. Just through a wall.
Yeah.
I don't because yeah, Bronson Reed has already done kind of everything to murder someone better
Right.
than and same with Braun Breaker on Raw. So I don't know what else you're gonna do that's gonna surpass a tsunami on top of a car or Braun Breaker doing the fatalities on Ricochet, but when they wrote
Yeah,
off Ricochet because that was insane too. So maybe they'll do it. I don't know. Maybe he'll
yeah.
kidnap AJ. I'd be cool with that. Or Larry. You
Or
just see
Larry.
Larry like in a cage, like
They had an angle like that with Big Boss Man and Al Snow, where he took Al Snow's dog and then he ended up feeding it to him later.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
I
it's so
forgot about that.
he like fed him a meal in like a hotel room and it was like his dog.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that for sure.
No, no.
You,
But yeah,
are you gonna get the Larry shirt? They have a Larry shirt of CM Punk now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. That is one ugly dog. I might get a Pharaoh shirt, but
Fair
not.
unclear soon.
Yeah, and then okay, so yeah, I think we both like this match. If you guys love this match and thought it was a cinematic masterpiece, let us
Yeah,
know in the comments. If you thought it was fine or good for a strap
yeah,
match, let us know. Then, in my opinion, my favorite match, Liv and Dom versus the Terror Turds. Uh, I thought this was because when I do my like internal ratings, I kind of base them on if it's a particular type of match, I'll like rate it based on like a comedy match or like this is a mixed tag match, which we barely ever have any good ones of these. This is like a 5-star mixed tag match to me. It was
mhm,
there was it was decent in length, but it was relentless in the pace. There was always
mhm,
something going on,
yep,
um, which kind of was the opposite of the last match.
mhm,
Which I like the last match too, and we'll get that into that a bit. But that was got monotonous at times, I felt. And this there was just they do a really good job of booking stoogery and Judgment Day matches in
mhm,
general.
yeah,
Because that's my thing with the Bloodline. All the matches kind of feel exactly the same,
mhm,
and it's like ref bump, then
yeah.
spear
Interference.
or interference, but it's just kind of
Mhm,
not breathtaking at all. Judgment Day, they're such goons that they don't care about making them look like idiots. So
right,
you don't know if it's going to work for Judgment Day or they're going to look like absolute idiots. So
right.
you're kind of on the
You're
edge.
laughing.
You're laughing, but at the same time, you're thinking, are they actually going to have these idiots win?
Yeah,
Um, so I think just because it's booked in a way where it's kind of 50-50 with Judgment Day, and they can just go out looking like idiots, and Bloodline, they always kind of look tough when they were cheating. You know what I mean? I feel
mhm,
like there's no drama for the Bloodline
right,
interference most of the time, where like Judgment Day, it's entertaining, and I don't know who's going to win because sometimes they do have them win crap they shouldn't win. So, yeah, I thought this was really good. I thought there's a lot of funny moments. Um, yeah, I thought this match would be good, but I didn't think it would be as entertaining because I rewatched it again this morning and I'm like, okay, yeah, this was as good as I
right.
remembered. So, but what did you think?
With everything you said, great points. I agree with that. But the amount of intergender physicality that was involved in this match, I applaud, and I kept thinking about Pierre's prediction for Rhea versus Dom intergender match, and this match showed me that it's possible. It's definitely possible. Um, and then I'm hearing about like random comments and other like video wrestling blogs or podcasts talking about how that needs to happen at WrestleMania, and I was like, dude, we've been talking about this for like the last, like you
Week.
had great insight. Yeah, you had great
They
insight.
copied us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like whether they did or not, it's like you saw that and you had the good foresight about it. So this really is, as you said, a WrestleMania level match to have Dom versus Rhea, 1-on-1, maybe with Stips to kind of like even things out, but or have equal other equalizers around the ring. But I feel this showcase that it's possible, and that's what I loved about this.
I would be fine if it was Rhea and Ray
Okay.
versus Dom and Liv
Yeah.
at Mania. You just run it back and you throw Ray in there with
Mm-hmm.
Rhea. Even though I like Priest, but I kind of want to see they might do it at Bad Blood, but I would not mind Priest versus Finn at Mania,
Mm-hmm.
like Hell in a Cell or something. Um, with Finn as the demon. I and actually try to have him not get 15 staples in his head in the
Right.
first minute of that cage match. So yeah, I don't know. I think we need that match. But
Yeah.
this I mean you didn't have Dom never actually hit Rhea, right? I don't
Right.
think. So you
Right.
just had her
Some shoving, some bodying, but not no like strikes.
when he's like, give me a hug, I was laughing so hard.
Oh, funny.
Um yeah, I thought this match was really good. So
Yeah.
it was my favorite match of the card.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't feel like it dragged at all.
No, I
Uh
think it was perfect timing. Great spots. Told the story better than most. Obviously had the better build, right, out of every single one of these matches. So yeah, all around, this was the best match on the card for me too.
yeah, the Razor's Edge, both of them doing the Razor's Edge.
Nice. So,
Um freaking that freaking pounce that JD took
oh
was
yeah,
unreal because there's so much that could go wrong in that. He takes dude, people don't like him. He takes crazy bumps every single week.
yeah. He sells. He sells so well, and you're right. He's taking them, but he sells them at the same time.
Yeah, he's good, man. I don't and he's great to hate.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean people just think he sucks or whatever. I think he's good and he's done a good job. And then Carlito's there, whatever. He took a face bump and then I think that was it for him. But uh yeah, he's no selling extraordinaire. But yeah, oh, it was really impressive. And it exceeded my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Final match, Randy versus Gunther. Um yes, it was good, I thought.
What did you think
Um
about the wrestling styles? Because people say Randy doesn't like to, but he wrestles stiff. He doesn't like to wrestle stiff.
no, he's opposite. He did
Uh,
barely hits.
yeah. So, what did you think about that going up with somebody against Gunther? Um, and I asked that because I think that Brian Danielson interview you sent me,
Yeah,
I think he kind of alluded to it, right? Like him
that
versus,
Randy doesn't.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, I thought Randy was taking crazy bumps in this,
Mhm.
so but they did kind of incapacitate Gunther's hand early
Mhm.
on, so he did not get chopped 500 times like he probably
Right.
would have in a 25-minute match.
Good
So
point.
I don't know if that was a kind of like cheeky way to all right, like let's not chop me too much.
Yeah.
But um it did work well with the story though, because I was fine with it. Like I don't
Yeah.
need to see he was still getting chopped, but it's essentially Gunther is a situational babyface because he's in Berlin and Randy's just attacking a body part.
Hmm.
Basically what Gunther would be doing to anyone else. So Randy was playing the Gunther card. All right, I'm gonna wreck this hand. Um, but this is pretty hard hitting. Randy was pretty game to. I feel like wrestle in a way that he doesn't normally.
Right.
Um, I feel like Gunther took way worse bumps though, like
Yeah.
onto the steps and stuff. Like that must have sucked ass.
Yeah.
And he like hit his arm on the table as he's going down to like there's just a lot of bumps that were spots that looked pretty terrible in that match. But yeah, my only thing, there were points where Randy was selling like so slow
Hmm.
that, and like I don't need it to be uh you know what I mean, a Osprey match where they're, I mean, he sells, people that hate on him, but like 8 years ago he didn't really sell too much. But like it does, I don't need it to be like Osprey versus, you mean, um oh, what's his name on TNA? Speedball Mike Bailey, where they're just going balls to the wall for 20 minutes and it's, I mean,
Right.
they sell, but it's a lot of counter stuff and crazy. I don't need it to be that, but I would prefer it not be like Frankenstein walking around. So like I get it was a hard-hitting match, but I felt like it was a bit overboard for me.
Right.
Um So I don't know how you felt. Maybe it was just a me thing, but it made it feel a lot longer.
Right.
Um,
You
so
know what
I don't.
made me? My dad in the room watching it with me. So my dad's like super critical of like wrestling. So he was like, he had like nowhere else to go or nothing else to do. So I like put it on. I was at his house and he like sat down and watched with me. I was like, oh man. Like, so, and them like Randy and Gunther like taking their time with like spots and like hits and stuff. And I was just like, my dad's probably just grinding his teeth watching this. But that's
Did
what
he
made me
like the
want.
Rhea match?
He didn't catch. He wasn't in.
Uh,
Yeah, he didn't sit down at that point.
he might have been a fan of that one because of their outfits too.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, maybe. But I thought the match for me, I feel like the match. I give more kudos to Gunther if he had to make any adjustments to Randy's style than I did Randy stepping over to Gunther's style of wrestling. So, like for example, Gunther was going for the power bomb right at the end,
hmm
couldn't couldn't get him in it, and I'm wondering, is this Randy saying I don't want to take a power bomb?
He
You
did
know,
take one.
he did take one. Okay, so as far as like finishers go, I was like, is Randy not going to go out on his back like this? Did he not want to take the power bomb? Whatever. So I liked how Gunther has another finisher, the sleeper, to put somebody out, and I thought that was fine for me. So I give more kudos to Gunther. Like you said, great match, and I also give more kudos to Gunther. Maybe it's because he's in Berlin for shaking Randy's hand at the end too. So
Yeah.
I like that. It makes me respect him even more as a performer.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, there's no way to really hate on either guy in this match. They were both good.
Mm.
Um, this is like a hard-hitting match though, too, so I get like if in real life they're super tired during this match. So, and Gunther had wrestled like four matches with, or a bunch of matches with Dragunov like all week in Germany. So, I mean, you know that guy's body's wrecked
Yeah.
going with that psychopath. So, I don't, yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a good match though. It was, I mean, easily the second best match in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Um, Punk and Drew, man, I just, it hasn't lived up to
To the build.
the build, but the build was essentially perfect, so it's hard to
Yep. Kind of balances out.
balance that. Gunther's just so good. I mean, has he had a bad match in like a
No.
year? I don't
I can't remember him ever having a bad match. Do you?
know. I think
Yeah.
like I can't. Some people didn't like his Finn match. I thought that was pretty good though.
That was a good match.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Like, but that's maybe one of his worst ones, but that's a still a good match.
Yeah. That was the one they were talking about where they've never wrestled each other, right? They've never crossed paths.
Yeah.
That was on Raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a good match to me. Um, Dang, Mountain Dew at 10 in the morning. You're crazy.
Oh, I'm crushing it. I have it at 10 every day.
um, my
Did you
my question for this PLE: are you okay with there not being twists or surprises or backstabbings or anything like that? Are you okay with that? This was a pretty straightforward, predictable PLE. Maybe other than the tag team championship match for the women. Like, are you okay with that, or is that not needed in every PLE?
feel like this is kind of an issue with WWE at this point, to be honest?
Mm-hmm.
Except for SummerSlam,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every B show, except there was one where we got like three wrong. I remember out of five. I don't remember which one that was. That
The
was like,
money
was it Money in the Bank?
it was Money in the Bank.
Man, we sucked on that one. But yeah, generally, I feel like we did some wonky picks for that one though too. So I
Yeah.
think that was part of it. I'll put that as um our whatchamacallit. Like, okay, we were kind of trying to be a little bit funny for some of them, but
Yeah.
because I think I
I just
said Trump was going to help Logan Paul win Money in the Bank or something. Oh no, it's where Logan Paul went against Cody. That's where I um
oh, Crown
did
Jewel.
that.
No. Um, King and Queen of the Ring.
I think that's what it was. I think I
Yeah.
said Logan was going to beat Cody and Trump was going to help him because he just did the interview with him. So it was something stupid that I did. But yeah, we got like three wrong out of five, which is objectively terrible.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one match. Oh no, we only predicted three and we got all three wrong out of the five. And then there was one all three of us thought was going to happen and didn't. So we would have got four wrong out of five probably. So, but in general, we could predict everything in
Mm-hmm.
these like B shows. And I
Mm-hmm.
do think it is a bit of a problem. And they do use the crowd as a crutch for
Mm-hmm.
these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if we're gonna get, I mean, really the last three matches, like even though I was kind of saying the CM Punk and Drew match wasn't my favorite, it was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in that crowd, I'd be hyped as hell to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the Liv Dom, like if that is one of those, if you're in the crowd, is absolutely insane. Like when we went to Raw last year and they had that tag match with like Judgment Day and Cody and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I was the only one cheering because Judgment Day won and everyone's like pissed off around us. Like those are especially like Judgment Day tags. If you're
Yeah.
in the crowd, it is super exciting. So
Yeah.
I mean that crowd got a good show. So I can't hate on it too much. And you got like kind of like an old school kind of classic hard hitting match with Randy and Gunther. So
Mm-hmm.
it is predict like you can predict everything, but you got good matches, so I don't think you can complain too much because there's
Mm-hmm.
been some B shows where they don't have a single match like the Liv and Dom and Terror Twins match or Randy and Gunther. Those are two of the better matches they've had on pay-per-views I think this year.
Yeah.
Um but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's too predictable?
I feel like I feel that it's a balance between going nuts on one PLA. Like there's that saying, you can't be at 100 miles per hour all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel that them balancing out, and that's between show to show, between Raw and SmackDown, NXT, then PLE, and then that cycle. But I feel that even if in amongst the PLE cycle, that it's okay to shoot it straight and then not always have predictable turns, or
Yeah.
just show it as it is and let it play out as it is, as it would. And it reminded me of like The Walking Dead. I don't know if you ever got into that show. But every
Watch a few seasons and then it was the same thing over and over again, so I stopped watching.
right. So I feel that every time they used to kill people in that show, people who you loved in the middle of a season. It didn't have to be on a uh,
Finale.
season finale or season premiere or mid-season finale like they always did. So I feel that by them balancing it out like this and having some predictability on some PLEs and having some not, I feel that's okay with me. I don't always have to be shocked on a PLE. And you could save it for the regular scheduled programming in Raw and SmackDown too.